Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to day 14 of our recovery journey. Today, we're going to start a week of postures that involve our knees or sitting up on our knees. So, a great way to integrate movement back into your life, especially when you're on a recovery journey, is to do the motions that you would do normally, but on your knees. Um, I know some of us are probably recovering from knee injuries, so this is going to be a little bit different for you. You'll probably use a lot more of the pillow or the blanket to kind of support your knees. And obviously, if it is not available to you, you don't have to do all the poses, but it is a great way in other recovery journeys to introduce movement back in. So we'll get started like we always do, and then we'll introduce a new pose today called Anjani Asana or a low lunge. Awesome. We'll come down to the ground, settling in, coming into our breath or noticing our breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to take 5 Ujjayi breaths in together. Making that loud ocean sound on the exhale. Filling the belly on the inhale. Sit up nice and tall. Awesome. So we'll take just a moment here to notice how the body feels today. Um, if we feel like we have a lot of energy and we're ready for something new, that's awesome. Maybe you don't feel that way. Maybe you feel like this is going to be a challenge, and maybe you didn't even want to come down to the mat today. That's also welcome here. Awesome. We'll breathe as we mindfully move into our cat cows. Inhaling, dropping the belly, opening through the chest, articulating through the spine, reaching that tailbone up to the sky, and then exhaling, pressing away from the earth, tucking the belly button, tucking the chin. Maybe stretching through the neck. Two more here. Awesome work. We'll come to that neutral spine, checking in, making sure we're pressing away from the earth. And then we'll bring the toes to touch, knees as wide as the yoga mat, and then we'll sink back into our child's pose. Opening through that chest area, the armpit chest, the side body. Maybe inching our fingers a little bit forward. Creating more space. Awesome work. We're gonna press up. We're gonna come back into all fours. So bring your hands and wrists right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. And we're gonna transition into our low lunge or Anjani Asana. So you're going to, on your next inhale, bring your left foot forward, coming in between your front hands. And then on your next inhale, you're going to sweep the arms up and overhead, coming into this low lunge. So for a low lunge, you're welcome to keep your arms up in the air, on your hips, whichever feels more comfortable for you today. And then we'll check in with that front knee, making sure it's not like too far over or too far back, but making sure it's in that nice right ankle over the ankle. Should feel a nice stretch here in the hip. You can shine your chest forward, opening through the chest. Reconnecting to that Ujjayi breath. Two more big breaths here. Awesome work. So on your next exhale, we'll frame the front foot and then we'll step it back to our neutral spine tabletop position. And then we're going to start integrating what a lot of vinyasa classes call your flow. We're going to do a little bit modified version of it because we're all on this recovery journey. But we're going to shift forward and we're going to just come all the way to lay on our belly. And then we'll integrate our Sphinx pose in place of Cobra, which is typically what we do in a flow. We'll introduce that pose a little bit later in our recovery journey. But for right now, when you're laying on your stomach, we can bring our elbows right underneath our shoulders, forearms parallel, and then pressing up and away, pressing into the palms, pressing into the tops of the feet for Sphinx pose. Awesome. One more breath here. Great work. So we're going to bring our palms where our elbows were, and then we'll press up, bringing our knees underneath our hips again, coming into all fours. And then on your next inhale, we'll lift the right knee up and exhale, bringing it through in between our front hands. And then we'll sweep the arms up and over, coming into our low lunge on our right side. So again, we're going to check in with that front knee, making sure it's in a nice right angle. Again, hands are welcome to be up in the air, on your hips, whatever feels more comfortable to you. Reconnecting with our Ujjayi breath. Pressing firmly into the top of our back foot and the bottom of our front foot to create kind of that stability. You could kind of almost feel your thighs coming into the center line as you press away from the earth. That helps create more stability for this pose. One more breath here. Awesome work. We'll bring our hands to frame the front foot, step back to all fours, and we'll lower all the way down to the belly again, placing the elbows right underneath the shoulders as we press away from the earth to Sphinx pose. Breathing deep here. And then we'll release all the way back down to the ground, and then we will slowly and mindfully roll onto our backs. We're going to end today's practice with a happy baby. As we go through this week, in our kneeling postures, we'll sprinkle in some former poses that we've used. We're not going to use all of them every day, but hopefully we'll get to sprinkle some of them in throughout, and you'll get to revisit some of those postures that we've already learned in the last 2 weeks. So slowly bring your knees into your chest, and then feet up to the ceiling, almost like you're walking on top of the ceiling, before you bring your arms and hands to grasp the outer edge or the inner edge of your feet, whichever feel most comfy. And then in happy baby, you're welcome to just kind of stay here, almost pulling your knees into your armpits and your shoulder blades flat with the earth, or you can kind of move around a little bit, straightening one leg and then the other, seeing what feels good. Ooh, just a little shake right there in my legs. Working on releasing some tension in the back of my legs. So whatever feels most comfortable for you and what your body needs right now. We'll take 5 breaths here. Awesome work. We'll bring our feet slowly back down to the ground before we roll onto our left side, pressing up, coming into that comfortable seat that we started in, sitting up nice and tall. We'll take one moment here to notice how your body feels after today's practice. I know for me, it feels really good to kind of move and challenge my body a little bit, especially in my hips, where I feel like I have had the most tension after having a baby. So notice just those little things. Maybe smile to yourself or give yourself a little internal round of applause for making it this far, for challenging yourself, and for moving during your recovery journey. I thank you so much for joining me on day 14. I will see you tomorrow for day 15, our halfway mark. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.